Hello! Today is Friday, October 29th, and this is a special horror-themed episode of Friday 5 at 5 with the Denver Public Library. My name is Erin. I'm a librarian at DPL's Central Library, and in 15 minutes or less, we'll have you up to speed on 5 spooky new titles we can't wait for you to read or listen to just in time for Halloween. Today's Friday 5 at 5 comes to us courtesy of the Horror Core Collection team. Erin, Melissa, Jamie, Kelly, and Nora, a group of staff members from around DPL who collaborated on creating and updating this collection in early 2021. The Horror Core Collection is a list of essential horror genre books titles that are culturally important and foundational, reflect the diversity and uniqueness of our Denver community, and are enduringly popular. You'll find old horror classics, new horror classics, and everything in between on this list. The Denver Public Library currently has 10 core collections aimed at adults, and we are adding more several times a year. These core collections can all be found on our website. Today we'll be sharing new horror book recommendations for you paired with essential horror books from the Horror Core Collection. Now on to the book recommendations. For our first pick, we have The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cooke from Penguin Random House. When two sisters go missing on a remote Scottish island, the locals subject their mother to chilling tales of wildings, the dangerous, supernatural beings created by witches to mimic human children. Could these wildings have something to do with the missing children? More than 2 decades later, Luna, one of the missing children who was later found, gets a call saying that her sister Clover has returned, but Clover is still the same age as when she disappeared. Clover's return forces Luna to confront her memories of childhood and the mystery of what exactly happened to her family. Cooke weaves an eerie tapestry from 3 separate timelines into an evocative tale of paranoia, fear, and the consequences of misplaced beliefs and how their effects can ripple through generations in this first-rate Gothic thriller. Available in print as well as ebook and e-audiobook through Overdrive. For some read-alikes from our Horror Core Collection list that also highlight paranoia and possession, try Through the Woods by Emily Carroll or Come Closer by Sarah Gran. Our second pick is Cassandra KHAW's Nothing But Blackened Teeth, which was inspired by the author's youth spent ghost hunting in abandoned buildings, and also inspired by what they described as tolerating too much for the sake of just having people around, anything to salve that loss, to satisfy that need for some kind of order and connection. Nothing But Blackened Teeth is a gorgeously creepy ghost story about revenge that centers around a group of thrill-seeking friends. When these friends meet up in an abandoned Japanese mansion for a destination wedding, the tension between each member of the group is brought to light as they quickly realize that they do not bring comfort and acceptance to each other in the ways they once did. As the friends talk, eat, drink, and play games into the night, strange things begin happening in the mansion. A mansion that happens to be built on the bones of a ghost bride who has a black smile and a hungry heart, and a mansion that is composed of walls that are fortified with the bodies of girls sacrificed to keep the ghost bride company. Both endlessly gory and delightfully eerie, this novella is steeped in folklore and shines in its depictions of friendships that have gone sour. From publisher Tor Macmillan and available in print and as an ebook and e-audiobook through Overdrive. For an equally creepy and atmospheric read-alike from DPL's Horror Core Collection list, try The Graveyard Apartment by Mariko Koike and Revenge, 11 Dark Tales by Yoko Ogawa. Up next is Reprieve by James Han Mattson, a book which features a full-contact haunted house. Guests enter the mansion-turned-escape room attraction known as Quigley House and attempt to pass through several cells, collect envelopes in the time allotted, and move on. The house is staffed by actors who are allowed to engage physically with contestants by hitting them or using shock wands. But the guests who can make it through all of the cells without shouting the safe word, Reprieve, are set to win $60,000. On the night of April 27, 1997, a mixed group of 5 people comes to Quigley House, and the trip through the eerie escape room, which all 5 participants expected to be harrowing, turns out to be horrific when a real murder takes place. Gabino Iglesias calls Reprieve a novel about otherness, loneliness, racism, and identity wrapped in a gory tale. While horror fans will find plenty of carnage and fear in Quigley House, Mattson's character development and critiques of America are the real standout elements. A clever blending of horror story and powerful social commentary, Reprieve takes readers on an unnerving journey. Available from publisher HarperCollins at DPL in print and through Overdrive as an ebook and an e-audiobook. If you loved The Haunted Store in Grady Hendrix' Horror Store, or the haunted house element in Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, both books from the Horrorcore collection list, then Reprieve is for you. Our next pick, Summer Suns, from publisher Tor Macmillan, is a book that horror author Sam J. Miller calls a twisted backroad nightmare full of bad boys and badder revenants, something that hooks you hard and fast from the start, then drags you kicking and screaming and loving it. Written by debut author Lee Mandelo, Summer Suns is set in Nashville, Tennessee at Vanderbilt University and is a sultry, queer Southern Gothic that oozes loss and yearning. It drips with the sweat of memory and lost friends and swirls with the conflicting worlds of drugs, fast cars, and academia. When Eddie's best friend, Andrew, dies under what Eddie believes to be mysterious circumstances, Eddie's life turns upside down as he searches for the truth and dizzyingly discovers dark secrets about Andrew and himself. Obsession unlocks the door to inner demons, and Eddie quickly gets caught up in the fast and furious life around him. Is he ready to face the truth and solve his own mysteries? Will he be able to navigate all these conflicting worlds? Issues of masculinity, queerness, child abuse, drug use, depression, violence, systemic racism, and academic privilege are just some of the twists and turns featured in Mandelo's ghost-filled tale. Available in print from DPL and in ebook and e-audio format through Overdrive. If you liked Edgar Cantero's Meddling Kids or Stephen Graham Jones's The Only Good Indians, you will enjoy the atmosphere in Summer Suns. Our fifth pick today is This Thing Between Us by Gus Moreno from publisher Macmillan. When Vera and Tiago buy the Itza, the world's most advanced smart speaker, they think it will be a fun addition to their lives. But soon they realize that the Itza has a mind of its own, and weird things keep happening. There are cold spots in their house, scratching in the walls, and soon peculiar packages show up at the house. Who ordered Industrial Lie? And that's not all. There is eerie music at odd hours, light shows projecting in an empty room, all leading up to the death of Vera. Afterwards, as he struggles with the impacts of her death, Tiago must deal with the way politicians and pundits make his wife's death into a spectacle, and the way his friends and family tell him to move on. Tiago decides the only thing he can do is leave Chicago and head to Colorado. Alone again with his grief, he soon realizes there is no escape from his guilt, rage, or the evil hunting him. This Thing Between Us is a bold and original horror novel about grief, loneliness, and the oppressive intimacy of technology from Gus Moreno, a spectacular new talent. Available at DPL in print and an ebook and e-audio format from Overdrive. For two read-alike books from the Horrorcore collection that explore evil surroundings, try House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski and You Should Have Left by Daniel Kelman. And in case you missed it, our bonus pick today comes from debut author Zen E. Rockland. A self-identified genderqueer black woman, Zen E. Rockland packs a powerful punch in Flowers for the Sea. This post-apocalyptic novella finds the world flooded with its survivors eking out a terrifying, dismal existence as they float on an ark and scramble to create a new kingdom. Order doesn't come easily or prettily out of chaos, and threats come from above and below in tooth and claw. Most of the horrors here are also psychological. Central to Rockland's tale of body horror is Araxi, a pregnant black refugee, both despised and lauded for the hope she might bring. The problem is, Araxi doesn't want this burden, and she wonders if her baby will even be human. Issues of class, race, and gender, and especially motherhood, abound in this atmospheric offering. How will Araxi deal with the rage that boils within and around her? Can she come to terms with her complicated role as the kingdom's savior and monster, someone forever dehumanized, traumatized, ostracized? Find out in Zin E. Rockland's Flowers for the Sea from Tor Macmillan, available in print from DPL and as an ebook through Overdrive. If you enjoyed the creepiness in both Octavia E. Butler's Fledgling and Ira Levine's Rosemary's Baby, this book is for you. And that's it for this month. Thanks for tuning in to Denver Public Library's Friday 5 at 5, the special horror edition. Check out or place a hold on these titles and a whole lot more, including discovering even more horror recommendations in our horrorcore collection, right now at denverlibrary.org, link below, and be sure to tune in next month for a whole new batch of recommended reads. Bye!